Stress has a terrible reputation. We blame it for anxiety, burnout, poor sleep, heart disease, and countless other problems. And because of that, many people see stress as something dangerous and something to avoid whenever it's possible. But the truth is that stress isn't actually the enemy. It's one of the oldest survival systems we have. Imagine that you are living thousands of years ago. You are walking through a forest, searching for food. Then, suddenly, you hear movement in the bushes. Your brain recognizes a potential threat. Within seconds, your heart starts beating faster, your breathing becomes deeper, and your muscles tense. Energy is released into the bloodstream. Your body is preparing for action before you even had time to think. This is stress, a survival tool. For most of human history, stress helped people respond right away to challenges. A predator, a dangerous environment, or a conflict with another group. The stress response gave them the energy and focus they needed to survive, and in many ways, that same system is still running inside you today. The difference is that most of us are no longer running from predators. Instead, we are dealing with exams, deadlines, notifications, bills, and endless streams of information. The system hasn't changed, but the world around it has. And once you look at it this way, it becomes useful to separate what's actually happening inside the body. To understand it properly, we need to distinguish between two types of stress. Short-term stress and long-term stress. Short-term stress is what your body is built for. It appears, activates your system, and then it's gone after the situation is over. Your heart rate rises, your focus sharpens, and your body gives you the energy you need to respond. Then everything returns to baseline. Long-term stress is different. It doesn't have a clear ending. It stays in the background, keeping your stress system slightly active even when nothing is happening. Over time, this starts to change how your body works. When this state stays active for too long, the effect is not sudden damage, but gradual change. Energy regulation is one of the first things to shift. The system becomes more conservative, just as if it needs to save resources at all times. Sleep is often affected next. Even if you fall asleep, the depth of rest can decrease. Your system stays slightly more alert than it should. You may wake up without feeling fully restored, even after enough hours of sleep. Attention also starts to change. Your brain begins to prioritize unfinished tasks and potential problems. This makes it harder to focus on one thing because your attention keeps drifting toward everything else that might matter. Eventually, this becomes your baseline. This is what makes chronic stress difficult to notice. Because it doesn't feel extreme, actually it feels very normal. So, how do you deal with this response? There are a few simple ways to interrupt this state when it's not actually needed. The first one is breathing. Slow, controlled breathing tells your nervous system that there is no immediate danger. One of the simplest patterns is to extend your exhale slightly longer than you inhale. There is a famous breathing technique called 4-7-8. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7, and exhale for 8. This pattern helps slow down your nervous system and can reduce the intensity of the stress response. There are many similar techniques, and you can easily find them online if you want to try more variations. The second way to deal with stress is cognitive reframing. This is about how your brain interprets what is happening. The same situation can be seen as a threat or as a challenge, and that interpretation matters. Instead of thinking, "This is overwhelming," you shift towards, "This is demanding, but manageable." You are not changing the situation itself. You are changing the label your brain attaches to it. Another approach is an environmental reset. Your surroundings constantly feed information to your brain about whenever you are safe, rushed, or overwhelmed. Small changes can matter more than they seem. Stepping away from screens, changing rooms, taking a short walk, even brief reductions in sensory input give your system a chance to downshift. And that's the point of all these methods. None of them remove stress from your life. They just help your body come back to baseline when there is no real need to stay in that activated state. Stress is not the problem. Not knowing when to turn it off is.